everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Cynthia and this is a flip through of this completed late summer journal. As you can see, the journal became quite full, and if you compare it to the spine, like it's almost double. But I don't mind the alligator mouths. I really like things poking out of my journal, and my favorite thing, I guess, about journals is when you can just touch all the different papers and fabrics and textures through there. So this is heaven to me. So yeah, this was a really fun journal to play around with. It's the smallest one I've had so far. It was the first time I tried to sew through fabric rather than to sew through the actual spine, and I just wanted to try something different. I had a vision for it and it didn't end up looking exactly how I thought, but I'm just happy I tried something new and something different. I think that sparks a lot of creativity for me, and it helps me to keep creating without getting stuck. So in here, I have a lot of videos that are filmed and posted on my YouTube. So if there are pages that you haven't seen and that you're wondering, go check out. I do have a playlist of all my journal with me videos. But this was my intro page. I did film that as well, and how I like to kind of start a new journal. I haven't written the date that I stopped, but it was the last day of August that I journaled in here. In September, I started journaling in my fall journal. Every page in here is essentially done. There's a few printables that are left the way they are, but I just found them so pretty that I don't mind. Yeah, so in my journal, I just like to write how I'm feeling and kind of talk about my daily life, and it just helps me process my emotions and it helps me feel better, I guess. So that's kind of what I journal about, whatever is inspiring me that day. I don't make any rules for myself. I use whatever I feel like using. I am part of Dust to Roses design team, so there's a ton of printables from her in here, and it's just to show essentially how you can use her printables to create things. Now, I have printables from other places in here as well, and it's all, it's equivalently just as fun to create with those as well. But because I'm part of her team, obviously I use quite a bit of her printables, and I really do truly love them, and they're just so beautiful. And I always get surprised whenever she has a new kit that she comes out with and I get to print it, and it's always more beautiful printed. And I don't know, it's just discovering printables has been really exciting for me. So here I just this was one of the pages. I just love this printable so much, so I just stuck a piece of it's like a paper bag that I dyed, and I journaled on top of that because I wanted to be able to look at this because I find it so beautiful. Here, this was a spread that I made because I got some mail from RoseHillPaper Cottage. Heather makes beautiful embossed papers, and this is just a little bit of it. So I journaled about that. You will see a ton of kind of fairy tale related images in here. I went through a little phase in August, and I'm still kind of going through it now, but I've been watching every single princess movies out there, so here there's a lot of that in here. Just little trims and little bits. I do have a process video of this, but it is on my Instagram page. Some really pretty imagery. I've also been playing around with words and trying to reflect my emotion through words and book pages. I'm essentially trying to use my book pages as much as I can, so that's been a good way for me. I'm I always like disliked poetry. I was not very good at it in school, like from grade school all the way through in university. I just was not my friend, but doing it this way and not having any rules for myself is really enjoyable. So here I've created just a mini journal, and this here was a printable from Dust to Roses, so that's just another idea of what you can create with that. Some beautiful embossed papers and little fabric scraps. These ones were from Crafty Paper Bits, and I'll have everything down below that I mention or forget to mention that you might be wondering. This here is from Amy, and she has beautiful wallpaper packs. And that's the other side of that printable. I just find it so pretty with the blue. I don't know. There's something about this page. It's one of my favorite. In here, I just have a ton of little tags from things that I got this month. There's not that many. I haven't been purchasing a ton, but a few items for the fall. And then just a lot of journaling. We have a process video on this page talking about just learning something new. And these pages here, I wasn't super happy with how they turned out, but I don't know, I don't mind it. Like, I wanted to play around with textures, and I think my mind was a little bit a reflection of how this looks. You know, I wasn't all there and I wasn't in a great space, so I find that when that happens, sometimes my work reflects it. It goes one way or the other. It's either like I can come up with something really beautiful, or it looks like a big mess, and that's okay. I did think that was funny. I had this plane and the skull, and then I had this postcard from Death Valley. So I just journaled in the back of that, and that's the last bit of it. I just love the texture though that were created here. And then I added ruffles at the top, and I love these pages. These ones are printables from Ruby and Pearl. Yeah, Ruby and Pearl. And then some more embossed papers and little snippets and little vintage bits. Just journaling. I hope you guys can't hear too much what's happening outside. There's always construction going on, and one of my neighbors, I don't understand. But here I'm talking all about fairy tales and once upon a time, and just the little medieval image reminded me of that. And here I'm just using some more printables and having a play with words, and I was just documenting some of the pretty things that Angela sent me in the mail. This too here, and just some pieces of fabric from Crafty Paper Bits and some avocado dyed paper. This spread was super fun. I think I have a little process on my Instagram about it, but essentially I'm just documenting that I want to make a cookbook for myself, which all the process videos about that are coming. And then here I'm just documenting the birth of my niece, which was early in August, and I thought this little image was so sweet, and I just wrote about, you know, when she was born and where and how big she was and those sorts of things. Just some more journaling. This one is a pretty big spread. It starts here and then there's a few pages here. But I'm just talking about the beach and the water and missing going. That was an old picture of my nephew a couple years ago and I. This one here, this isn't one of my favorite printables from Cassie from Dust to Roses. It's a telegram, and you probably have seen this telegram around. That's the other side of it. I just love these roses so much, and I love that I get to print them as many times as I wish. That's the beauty of printables, right? Here I have a little vintage photo, and again, like, I'm just experimenting with new things and trying to see what I like to journal with, and it turns out I really enjoy using vintage photos in my journaling. Sorry guys, the heat is on now. It's too cold outside. Yeah, so I had a little postal card and just little tidbits, and yeah, so it just tucks in here. And just a simple spread that I journaled on this side. And this was the last spread that I created in this journal, so I just talked about the summer and what I wanted to remember about the summer, just little bits and pieces, and journaled on the back of this. And again, just playing around with some words. I have a process video on this page. It was a collaboration with Dear Venice. And here I documented getting in mail from Maria. And just lots of ruffles. I really enjoy ruffles. So here I have a printable from Dust to Roses from the Botanist Desk kit, and I just added some elements on here where I could journal and add some texture. And I don't know, I just really like this page, the simplicity of it, yet because it's collaged in the background, it doesn't look so simple. And just some journaling and little tuck spots. And here I just really like the layer of this, and I love this card so much with the lighthouse. So, and just a tag that Cassie sent. Oops. And some more collage. And I do have a process video on this page. It's already been posted. And this one as well. Just a tag here. And in here I have some journaling on tea-stained paper. Here I was trying to do something different. I don't typically go for reds and oranges, but I just wanted to try something new, so created this spread and just some more journaling. Oh, this is a lovely printable that Therese shared with me, and it's like this really pretty envelope that she kind of fixed with some little delicate pieces of fabrics. And yeah, I just enjoyed using it to write in it, and then folded it and kind of tucked it on here. And just some more journaling. That's it for this journal. Thank you so much for joining me, and I really hope that all of you are doing really well. If you liked this video, leave me a thumbs up or a comment down below, and if you haven't yet, I would love for you to subscribe. Otherwise, I wish you all a really fantastic day, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Thanks so much.